far away. I need to get closer. Too far away. Isn't ready yet. Not ready yet.
Verga, qué batalloso estuvo de matar.
I need to get closer. Not enough energy. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. I don't have enough energy. out of range. That ability isn't ready yet. Too far away. I'm out of range. I need to.
Gráficos o que pueda correr juegos que están en otras consolas. También existe una función llamada Game Chat, que seguramente viste en los anuncios, en la que puedes jugar mientras tienes una videollamada con tus amigos, pero la neta para eso tendría que comprar la webcam de Nintendo y sinceramente qué flojera, porque además nunca juego en línea, porque estoy muy triste y solo. Y en general, a ver, yo creo que es una consola bastante buena, bastante decente, que en potencia podría casi decirse que es como 6 veces más capaz que la Switch 1, como que resuelve muchos problemas que la original tenía y de que la potencia hasta se nota en el calor, porque en la primera de repente sentías un poquito tibio arriba en la salida del ventilador. Y esta, sí, y participar en el sorteo. Y ahora puedes emular juegos. Tiene una Nvidia Tegra. El dock es bastante parecido. Pide a gritos romperse. Pero seamos sinceros, considerando el hecho que, agradecido, finalmente, el cable está separado del adaptador de corriente. No como en el anterior, donde si el cable se dañaba. En mi defensa, no había manera de saber cuál era la parte con la descripción. Para activar el super cable, ¿qué va a pasar? La base de altura ajustada. Ahorita el Wi-Fi en la Switch 2 no es bueno. Quién sabe interactuar con otros personajes. Los controles como si fueran un mouse. Y cuando lo haces automáticamente. Y la neta, se me cayeron los calzones, güey. apuntado a eso, de que siempre se ha tratado más de las experiencias que crean con las consolas y de que los juegos sean divertidos y memorables, más que tener en cuenta solamente gráficos o que
Do that yet.
están en otras consolas. También existe una función llamada Game Chat, que seguramente viste en los anuncios. Puedes jugar y sinceramente, qué flojera, porque además nunca juego en línea, porque estoy muy triste solo. Y en general, a ver, yo creo que es una consola bastante buena, bastante decente, que en potencia podría casi decirse que es como 6 veces. Como que resuelve muchos problemas que los
¿Qué pea, Leonardo? Buenas tardes, bro.
en el calor, primero de repente, un poquito tibio arriba en la salida del ventilador. Y esta sí se calienta macizo. Hubo un momento en el que después de eso se podía escuchar. En fin, siendo sinceros, es una gran actualización al primer Switch. Pero, por ahora, se siente demasiado innecesaria. Porque
No,
no hay
Warzoncito,
suficientes
ahorita no,
juegos.
no,
Creo
no.
que a futuro
pudiera.
pudiera tener muy...
De hecho, traigo un audífono
Todo que
quitado
sea
porque tengo que
portátil
escuchar la
definitivamente
puerta,
es
van a
bastante
tocar
importante.
ahorita.
Aunque un compromiso
Estoy esperando
que
un
hice
tarjeta.
en un día que llevo usándola es que lo cargo en modo portátil. La batería sí tiene que cargar bastante más rápido que en la Switch 1. Pero creo que pues obviamente tiene que ver con el hecho de que hay mayor potencia. Creo que el hecho de que los juegos cuesten tanto es un insulto y deja un muy mal estándar. Y creo que también es bastante curioso que aun cuando existe una versión OLED, Switch 1, esta no lo es. Seguramente porque después planean sacar una versión OLED más cara para vendértela también. Además de que se sabe que jamás deberías de comprar algo solamente bajo la promesa de que se va a poner mejor en el futuro. Y ahorita los cambios son buenos, están y wow, pero tampoco es como que sea lo más increíble del mundo. Perfectamente puedes seguir usando la Switch 1 sin problema. Entonces está en una posición bastante complicada. Pues si bien me parece una buena consola, la neta es que teniendo la Switch 1 es muy complicado ver necesario el actualizar, al menos por ahora. Y de hecho, si no hubiese sido bajo la excusa de hacerle un video, probablemente yo lo hubiera esperado para comprarlo. Ahora, por otro lado, si nunca tuviste una Switch y estabas pensando en comprar una, probablemente sea la 2 la que debas de comprar. Pues es tu opción más reciente y seguramente durará.
Ni yo
muchos
quiero
años
jugar
más,
Warzone.
como lo hizo la primera. Pero de ahí en fuera, la
Y
neta,
eso,
yo creo que
carnal.
ahorita debería de haber cero prisa para comprarla. Habrá que ver cómo se pone más adelante. En fin, esa es mi opinión sobre la
¿Ya
Switch
viste la
2.
nueva Switch, Leonardo?
Pues,
The history of comedy is long and convoluted, and looking into it, you'll find that the biggest comedians today are influenced by the ones that came before them, going back generation to generation. Comedy has thrived. However, in America and other parts of the world, comedy has found its place in the sitcom. Sitcom stands for situational comedy, which is a definition as broad as its selection, having a wide variety of shows under its umbrella. From I Love Lucy to Rick and Morty, anything is considered a sitcom at this point. But that doesn't mean there aren't shows that define the genre more specifically. Everyone has heard of or watched shows like Friends, Seinfeld, and The Office, shows with hundreds of millions in revenue that give modern-day streaming services guaranteed viewers. Shows that are so easily digestible, some people leave it on day and night to use as background noise, and shows with huge cult followings that are still very active to this day. But what if I told you that there was a show bigger than all of them? And not only that, but one bigger than all of those titans combined. A show that has never been replaced and is still viewed daily a total of 91 million times, becoming one of the most famous programs in the history of television. Today, I'm going to tell you the story about a show unknown to people outside of Latin America, the man responsible for its billion-dollar price tag, and the story behind its rise to greatness and meteoric fall. This show would come as a result of over 20 years of one man's hard work and talent whose legacy has left an everlasting impression on the hearts of millions of people. This man's name is Chespirito. Chespirito was born Roberto Mario Gomez Bolaños on the 21st of February, 1929 in Mexico City. Roberto's early life seemed relatively normal, even with crime, gang activity, and political unrest beginning to increase as his participation in sports like soccer and boxing kept him on the straight and narrow and away from trouble during his younger years. Mexico after World War II saw drastic social, economic, and political changes. Political changes stemming from the dominant party's policies, instituting a protectionist import substitution economy, leading to a closing off from foreign markets, making Mexican businesses extremely reliant on governmental contracts, helping with social welfare programs and helping the economy grow, but also causing an insane amount of corruption. Some of the good things that came with this exponential growth was the rapid development in industrialization and urbanization. What would follow is higher living standards for people who moved to these modern areas, and the replacing of radio with television.
Clock Clock sería Nor Suiza porque sí es de pollo.
After dropping out of college, he took a copywriting job at an advertising agency when he was 22, where he specialized in broadcast media, and by the mid-1950s, he had worked his way to writing scripts for TV and film. From the beginning, he would
Bueno.
write comedy, and for the next 20 years, he would write for some of
Eh,
the
nada,
most famous
estoy
shows and
jugando
movies that
Warcraft.
Mexico had to offer. Movies
Oye,
like Cómicos y
¿pasan un rato y recoger el
Canciones,
carro
and
de tu abuela,
programs
el
like
carro de
El
tu mamá?
Estudio de Pedro Vargas.
Sí, sí puedo ya.
That's a play on
Sí,
Shakespearito,
por
or
favor.
Little
Ok,
Shakespeare.
dame unos
His
minutos.
talents and
Ya
writing
voy.
abilities,
Bye.
as well as making
Bye.
fun of his height, coming in at 5'4". Because what's more fitting than a comedian having a joke for a name?
YouTube Premium es YouTube sin anuncios y la app YouTube Music combinados. Videos sin interrupciones y una app solo para música. YouTube Premium, una suscripción, 2 aplicaciones. Prueba un mes gratis.
In 1968, Gomez would finally get his own show after TIM, a television upstart attempting to compete with the big names in the broadcasting space, would take a chance and make a comedy show their signature program, as opposed to the popular telenovela with Chespirito. These 40-minute episodes of sketch comedy would cement Chespirito's talented name as a writer and comedian, as he found immense success through it, where we would see his famous personalities like El Chapulín Colorado, Dr. Chapatín, Chaparrón Bonaparte, and his most famous character, El Chavo del Ocho, for the first time. Show as protagonists tend to do, and people would come to love them more and more over the years, and the success of this show would lead to the one he's most known for a few years later. Year after year, he finds himself blowing the ratings out of the water, and funny enough, this would only be the start of Chespirito's already huge success. And as the ratings and profits would start to climb, so would the severity of the situation behind closed doors. Because what's most fascinating about this time is not what's happening on screen nor behind the scenes, and basically has zero to do with Senor Bolaños himself. Because once we take a deeper look into the business side of things, we'll find the conclusion to an 8-year fight for the control over broadcasting in Mexico, and what I like to call the Secret War. Mexican TV is a weird and fascinating topic, as I'm sure it is for many other countries. But earlier I mentioned TIM's competitive spirit, and I don't really know how to put this other than shit's crazy. So gather around the campfire and let old Papa Alexi give you some IRL lore about my motherland's TV turf war. Today, there are three major companies that have television more or less controlled: Televisa, TV Azteca, and Imagen Televisión, with Televisa basically having a monopoly over broadcasting in Mexico. So how did they get so much power? Well, it starts off with this great Catholic man, Eugenio Garzazada, who in 1963 founded TIM. The Garzazada family were very wealthy and generous brewers, known for their good treatment of their workers, offering them social services and other benefits, instituting crazy ideas like treat others with respect in their workplaces, and giving their employees less hours at work to give them more time at home. Senor Garzazada was a very intelligent man, studying at MIT in the States while some stuff was going on back home. When he graduated, he was forced to work his way up through the ranks at his family's company, which gave him even more street cred. And the family basically built Monterrey, Mexico's 9th largest city and 2nd largest metropolitan area. They were very respected people, and he even has an award named after him to recognize people and institutions that contribute to the Mexican people's well-being. So here's where it gets crazy, and some of that corruption I was talking about earlier comes into play. TIM started as a radio station, as Eugenio looked toward the future, seeing the trends of the market and finding that the dissemination of information was becoming more and more valuable. Eugenio, correct in his assessment, found immense success even as he transferred into TV. This success, however, wasn't completely clean, because by request of the fucking president of Mexico himself, a radio tycoon, Sales Peiro, joined forces with the Monterrey group as they proceeded to fucking obliterate the competition. Outside of a few local stations, there was only one real threat to their seizing of power. And who was this real threat? Oh, I don't know, just the guy who had a huge monopoly over TV and put fucking color in it? He didn't invent color TV, but he improved upon the technology so much that it became the standard, or STSC. What Edison did for the light bulbs, this guy did for color TV. Right before TIM started buying stations left and right, Guillermo González Camarena, who owned Telesistema Mexicano, mysteriously dies in a car crash, leaving them unstable and without a clear vision to continue. TIM eventually joins forces with big movie businessman Manuel Barbachano Ponce, where he would affiliate 11 out of the 15 stations he owned with them after finding himself in financial troubles to give them 50% of the Mexican broadcasting territory. With TIM's innovative formats, lovable new faces, the creation of iconic productions, and exporting those materials to other countries in the region, it wouldn't be long before Telesistema lost its hegemony. Even with this newfound success, however, TIM would find itself in a precarious situation after losing money, ratings, and strong advertisers like Procter & Gamble. During this time, talks between Eugenio's nephew and the son of one of the founders of Telesistema